Hey again, everyone. We're going to pick back up. We left off talking about the bottomless pit, but just in case someone's just joining us on this one, here we've got the 3 days of darkness. We have earthquake activity before the 3 days of darkness and after the 3 days of darkness. The earthquake activity sets off volcanic eruptions, which in turn causes physical and spiritual darkness. Okay, we talked about the physical darkness being the smoke and the ash, and that's what causes the, in Revelations 9:2, where it says, the sun and the air were darkened. Well, this is your darkening of the sun and the darkening of the air. Okay, and then we come over here where we get to talking about the spiritual darkness and the opening of the bottomless pit. Okay, let's go up here just a moment. Let me see where I want to read from. Let's just start with verse 2. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and upon them was given power as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass, or the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their forehead. Okay, the first thing I want to look at here, okay, we just discussed about the sun and the air being darkened by smoke and the ash, and here we see, and there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and upon them were given power, as the scorpion of the earth hath power. Okay, these locusts that we see come out, they're not like the locusts that we saw in Exodus, okay? These are unique. They are not insects, as we saw in Exodus, where the locusts eat up the vegetation. And let me come back down here to my graph. We see the bottomless pit is open and the locusts come out. Well, the locusts are demons. Now, how we know that is if we go up here to chapter 9, verse 11. And I don't think it's any coincidence that this is written in Revelations 9:11. It says, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. Well, we know that this king that is over them is Satan. Okay? So if the king that is over them is Satan, then we can safely say that these locusts that we're seeing here is demons that are being released from this bottomless pit, which is a volcano. Okay? See, there we have it. Revelations 9:11. There was some scripture that I found in the Old Testament. It's in Joel, and I'll get into that a little bit later, where, and I actually, when I saw this, it really surprised me, because I didn't think there was any more scripture concerning what we see here as description of that alludes to what these locusts do here on earth. But I've found some very descriptive scripture that I believe goes along with this. And it's amazing how the Lord, he leads me in ways that just is very surprising, okay? And the way that he shows me these scriptures tie together is in itself unique. But one thing I want to point out about these locusts before we move on is it says they were given power as the scorpions of the earth have power. And I pointed out in an earlier video, and a subscriber, I'm thinking her name was Kim. My memory's not that great, so if I've got that wrong, please forgive me. But I had done some homework on scorpions and passed it on to me. And between what she had come up with and what I had come up with, it was easy to conclude that these scorpion qualities that were given to these locusts were only for torment, only for punishment, to inflict pain. Because here we see, let's see, where's that at? Let's see, they could not hurt anything except those that did not have the seal of God in their forehead. And it goes on to say, and to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of scorpions when he striketh a man. And when a scorpion strikes, after doing some homework on this, what I found was they can strike you repeatedly. And unless it is a small child or a very elderly person, they only, what would you say, cause pain and irritation at the site, and sometimes causing physical sickness, maybe vomiting and things of that sort, headache and vomiting. But for the most part, they just inflict a lot of pain, tormentous pain. And when they strike, it's a stinging, burning feeling. And that is the whole point of using this scorpion description here, is to drive home the point of this is all about torment. And, one thing that the subscriber had pointed out when she gave me the information on scorpions was that how that it's just like a poking and a prodding. And that if you poke and you prod somebody, if you constantly poking them, you're going to bring out the ugly side of them. Which tells me this is part of the, how would you say, the refining, or I'm not sure that's the word to use, because it's only those that don't know the Lord that's going to deal with this. So it is about, I guess it would be a refining, because if you've got something like that going on the scale that I think it will be happening, which it's going to be intense, you either going to turn to the Lord wanting some help and some relief, or you just going to become a bitter, angry person that finds no peace in anything, okay? So it is about a separating, I guess, is the best way to put that, because it's going to separate those that are lost to those that are going to go the wicked way. This will push them on over into that wickedness, and those that will turn to the Lord, it will draw them to the Lord, because that's the only way they'll be able to deal with this that's being afflicted upon them. is the best way I know how to describe that. I hope I've explained that where it can be understood. But it's about bringing out the true heart in someone. If you're constantly annoying or aggravating someone, either they'll be patient or they're going to lash out. So this kind of thing brings out the true person, so to speak. And I think that's what that's about. The wicked will become more wicked. And there's a scripture about that. The wicked will remain wicked. I can't remember just how that goes. But the wicked will become more wicked, and those that will turn to the Lord will seek Him. But I'm going to cut this off right here, and I'm going to try to get that scripture together that I was talking about, that gives a description, and get the Lord to give me understanding on it, because when I just skimmed through it, it was very obvious I was going to have to spend some time studying and seeking the Lord on it to fully understand it. But at the moment, I'm going to stop right here, and I hope this has been a help to you, and we'll see where the Lord takes things from here. I know there's this 40 days that we need to talk about, and as far as what we've seen with the death, burial, and resurrection of Christ, there's an additional 10 days where after He ascended, there was 10 days till Pentecost, where the Holy Spirit actually came to the disciples. And I feel like the Lord is showing me some things there. If He prepares me further to where that can be presented, I'll come back with that. I just have to see where He takes things, because this is all about what He wants. And if He doesn't give me understanding, I can only present to you what He gives me understanding on, okay? But thank y'all for listening, and I love all of you. Good night.